Hey there, y'all. It's your girl, Shawn LeRae, and we are back with Boss Talk. So, I hope you guys are doing great out there. I just want to listen to my amazing new song, Lane and Alana Lynn, who up for me. So, just take a listen.
One of a kind.
I'm very excited about my show tonight. As you all know, I love to bring people on who will give you all kinds of tips, but who are also people who are a part of my life. And my guest tonight has been a part of my life since I was in the 7th grade. So I am really, really excited. So if you are on right now and you are from Toledo, Ohio, I invite you to share this link right now. Don't be selfish. Put it out there so that us folks can come on and join us who are from the Bristol, Toledo, Ohio. So go ahead right now and subscribe and comment, like, share. So y'all a minute to go ahead and share the link. And as you all know, it's Wednesday and it's time for Boss Talk. And it is always great. It's hump day. Oops, we gotta let that go. It's hump day, y'all. So, you know, I like to know what you all are doing to make it through the second half of this hump day. So you all know that I am a summertime girl. And I told y'all earlier it's going to be a hot girl summer because I am working on my fitness and my wellness. So once again, shout out to Yolanda Martin of Yolanda Martin Fitness because that's my trainer. And that girl don't be playing, okay? So Yolanda's working my body on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and on the other days of the week, I hit the pool and I swim. And so I'm starting out slow. I'm doing 15 laps, just 15. I could do more. Not bragging, just fact. I could do more, but I'm taking it slow. And I just got to tell y'all too, I was in the ER yesterday. All is well, but I had a little bit of an asthma thing going on. The air quality in Cali is not that great right now. And I couldn't breathe, y'all. So I had to go and get a little bit of help. And I am doing fantastic. And I'm excited to tell you that. So tell me in the chat, what are you doing for that's going to help you get through the rest of the week? Because this is hump day. We're right in the middle. We got 2 more days, y'all, to the weekend because it's already evening time and we've made it through Wednesday. So shout out to William Seals. Hello. Welcome back. Hello, Boss Talk family. Good to see you. Thank you. So type in the chat what you're doing to get you through the rest of this week. Tell us what you're going to do to get you through the rest of this week. Uh-oh. What happened? We had a visitor. So, well, now y'all know it's Kenny. Kenny Cunningham is my guest tonight. I don't know how I did that, but but he is now here. So I will tell you a little bit about my guest tonight, Kenny Cunningham, who is from Toledo, Ohio, my hometown. And I'm going to embarrass Kenny right now and tell y'all that Kenny is the first boy I ever kissed.
Really? Gosh.
Are you blushing, Kenny?
I don't remember that one.
Yes, I do. You were the first boy I ever kissed. Ooh, don't tell nobody. Okay, so I told everybody. But y'all, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my friend Kenny Cunningham because he is the president and CEO of Kenmore's Marketing and Recruiting Employment Agency. So he founded that company in 1991. He is also a basketball Hall of Famer from Western Michigan University, where he studied communications and public relations. In 1976, while he was still in college, Kenny Cunningham was picked as one of the members of the United States Olympic basketball team. He was also one of the nation's top scorers with a 24.9 average for Western Michigan. In 1980, the Utah Jazz selected Kenny during the NBA draft. Now, Kenmore Marketing and Recruiting has allowed Ken to turn his winning attitude into a venture that recruits highly skilled individuals for corporate companies. His past experience with marketing strategies includes the development and distribution of I Magazine, which distributed over 20,000 copies per month throughout Northwest Ohio and Michigan. As president and CEO, Ken has encouraged his vision of providing superior service to meet the business needs of both employers and employees nationwide. So, Boss Talkers, welcome to Boss Talk, Ken Cunningham.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. It's so good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. Sean LeRae, how are you?
I am doing great. Thank you.
Good.
It's so good to see you. Now, I see you got the W back there. Is that Western Michigan?
Yes. Actually, yes. Mm-hmm.
All right.
I didn't even realize that that was behind me until I kind of looked behind me and said, "Oh, I couldn't move, but I'm supposed to get it." I left it there.
Perfect. That's perfect. Looks good. Looks good.
Thank you.
So, Kenny, tell us what you've been up to. Gosh, I think I saw you. Oh gosh, it's been a few years, but I have seen you in recent years, say 5 years or so, right? I think that was about the last time I was in Toledo.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tell us about your company.
Well, of course, we are actually, I should say, we specialize in permanent placements. When we say employment agency, most people would say a staffing company. We're not really a staffing company. We are a permanent placement employment agency.
Okay.
Most of our, I should say, candidates are direct hires.
Okay.
So we deal high-powered engineers, high-powered management across the country. We actually just hired 2 people in China about 3 months ago.
Wow. So you are international.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So we get around pretty good, actually. The biggest thing, believe it or not, we are stationed in Toledo, but we don't do much here in Toledo at all.
Really?
Yeah, we don't do much here in Toledo. For some reason, we don't get a lot of support, here in Toledo for some odd reason. We know quite a few HR, folks that really could use us badly, but they tend to go around us and not really use us much at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think that is?
We've tried, many companies here in the Toledo area, and for some reason, they either want something for us to find the candidates for free, or or they just want special rates, which they don't ask anyone else for special rates,
right?
But they ask us for special rates, and I will not give them any special rate unless I know that if it's a smaller company that we may deal with, it might be a little different story. But as I go out and what you call solicit my company, I just find that a lot of them just don't do anything with us, here in the Toledo area. And it's a lot of HR folks that I even know that will not do anything with us. And I'm not knocking Toledo. I'm not knocking us down, but I'm just saying how it is. All our accounts is from Baltimore, Maryland, Charlotte, Kentucky, Illinois, Boston, and we do things a lot in those areas, and we don't do a whole lot in Ohio unless it's in Dayton. We do quite a bit in Dayton. Mm-hmm.
Dayton is a little bit progressive, though, I think, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes,
now,
it is.
Connie here, Connie, the comeback queen, aka Connie Q. Hey, sis, thank you for coming back. It's so good to see you. Sean LeRae, you are looking fantastic. Well, thank you, darling. I'm looking forward to this broadcast tonight. Warm welcome to your guest, Kenny Cunningham. Ken Cunningham. I'm gonna call him Kenny because that's how I know him from when we were kids. Okay. But
a lot of other people know me as Kenny also.
Absolutely.
So that's not, nothing's wrong with it.
Absolutely. So Ken is your grown folks name, I guess.
Yes, right, exactly. I call that my business name. Ken is my business name.
Okay.
Yeah. Kenny is my friend name. That's
right. That's right. Well,
yes,
we're gonna call you Kenny on here tonight. Now let's see what Mr. Seal says. He says we always try to keep it politically correct, but we know why. Yeah, you do. And I think one of the things that we have to consider too is the bulk of companies that are doing things on the scale that you are doing things on, they don't look like us.
Yeah.
They don't look like us. And so, we have to keep that in mind and just know, Toledo is a Midwestern state. And, we know what that kind of means too. It ain't necessarily blue. So
absolutely. That's absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of minority HR folks that are very well up there, that could use us like weekly.
Really?
And we cannot seem to, I can give you some companies and names that you would not even believe that folks that's in the right positions to use us.
But they don't.
They don't.
Yeah. That is heartbreaking to me and unfortunate. Yeah. You know what? That's where we get our tenacity and our resilience and our keep it pushing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I'm glad to hear that, obviously you have done well without those people.
Absolutely.
And so you continue to do so, and that they're lost. That's how I look at it.
Right. And I don't let that stop us from
absolutely.
And my staff, I have a very good recruiting staff across the country, and they are really good. And we do well, or I wouldn't have been in business for 32 years.
Come on now.
I've been in business. So I didn't let one or two or three companies here stop us from doing what we do.
Well, Kenny, I sing a song called "One Monkey Don't Stop No Show."
Exactly. Absolutely. That's right. Absolutely right. Absolutely.
That is so right.
Absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
Right. So, go ahead.
No, and we, with when I do presentations, and our brochures and everything that I have is first class, and I go in, to help. I don't go in there to try to hurt anyone for rates or anything.
Right.
We try to help. If someone's looking for, let's say, an engineer, or any type of engineer, or any type of management or finance person or accounting or what, we can get them. I don't care where they are. We can get them. We can find them, and we do it in a short period of time.
I love
but
that.
They just don't seem to use us, at all. But they use the others, but they don't use us.
Well, that's all right. You keep it pushing. That's
absolutely.
Now, my friend Gwendolyn Goodman over here, Gigi, Big Sis Gigi, is all things HR. And she says that she's taking a breath and a break from all things work for the rest of this evening and will retire early. I don't believe it. I have a nasty calendar day tomorrow, so I need to be rested and grounded for all my projects. So that's what she's doing on this hump day to get her through the rest of and I think she's going to be meeting with me on Friday. I'm not sure. We got to talk about that. But Gwen is an HR person from way back and has done that kind of work. And what she does too, in fact, if you do trainings for your company, or if you have access to trainings, both of us are coaches, and we can work and coach in corporate settings. So don't sleep on us.
Right. That's right.
So we always got a pitch, right?
That's right.
So tell me, how many people do you have on your staff?
I have 17 recruiters across the country.
Wow.
Yeah, 17. Yeah. And I have, there's 6 here in the Toledo area that works. But all the ones that work here is doing all the business out of state.
Out of state. Wow.
Yeah, they're doing it out of state because they can't seem to, get anyone here.
So now you're working in Michigan a lot, I guess.
Yes. Absolutely.
And you lived in Michigan for a time, didn't you?
Yeah. Yes. When I was when I was at Western Michigan and Monroe, yeah, I stayed there, in Michigan. So I have a lot of good connections in Michigan, and we do quite a bit in Michigan, but not as much as we do in like the Maryland and the Charlotte areas and those areas. Yeah, believe it or not.
So
Yeah.
does that afford you the opportunity to travel to these places, or?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I would travel to them, especially if I know that they're going to do business with us. I don't have a problem going anywhere. Sitting down with them and talking. And again, we're not. My rates are not where it hurts anyone, because I do understand, especially today, with the pandemic happening and all that stuff going on. We understand. I mean, we just don't, throw out numbers and all that. We're here to help. So any way we can help them, and if we need to, say, what is your budget? We work with them.
Right.
We work with them.
Good. I love it. So Gwendolyn has a question. She says, Ken, I'm just curious, do those Ohio companies not using executive recruiting, period, or they are just aren't using your Black-owned firm?
They're not using our Black-owned firm, because we know that, because there's been some slip-ups where we've had the right candidates in for interviews, and we turned around and found out that they took someone else from another company, and they wasn't not near as close to what we had, for them.
They weren't quite as qualified.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Well, Kenny, something just popped into my head, because I was an article was pointed out to me today by a friend. She sent me because she knows how I feel about this whole get my doctorate from anywhere type of thing, and by that I don't mean earn it. I mean, and I'm not even just talking about honorary doctorates. I think that people who have done great work in areas deserve to get an honorary doctorate from schools that are accredited. I'd appreciate that. But this purchase, a master's degree purchase, a doctorate degree, it burns my behind, because I'll tell you why. Because I worked my tail off. I've been working on this doctorate now. I went through great loss and everything else to try to get this doctorate. I've been school. I didn't have all. I didn't had it all. Okay. So somebody sent me this article today, and there's a group of others who are purchasing these degrees, getting these high paying jobs in the state of California. So it's happening elsewhere, but in the state of California, from an organization that doesn't exist as a school. It is not accredited. It's not accredited as a college or university. And they are paying a fee and getting a master's and a doctorate, and getting these high-paying salaries, being taken away from people who actually have done the work, who have had the grind and the stayed up all night and the missed meals and sleep and all that other stuff and family events, and I can go on. And they are getting these degrees, getting hired. So how do you vet people to avoid this, or is it something you've had to deal with, or is it now that you're hearing about these things and it's more and more coming up in the news that you have to switch some of your vetting? So I know that was a lot in one question.
No. That's really a good question, because you just have to swallow a lot of the things. You just have to swallow it, because they don't expect miracles, but it's almost like they don't want to see you succeed. They find a way or find an excuse, to hold you back, I would call it. And I don't let that happen. I still keep going. And for instance, I'll give you an example with, I will say this. The manufacturing companies that we have dealt with for several years, oh my goodness, if I named off a ton of some manufacturers right now and told you how they were, you would not even believe it, because we know them, because we have hired for a lot of these folks. I mean, I've had there was, this was not even that long ago, was probably maybe 6-7 months ago. We were hiring for a company, and the head HR guy he was really the VP of the company. So he wanted to do business with us. I said, absolutely. The person that they were looking for was a high power, he was an operations person. They was looking for this person for probably over a year. We found the guy in a week.
Wow.
Sent the guy to him. They hired the guy immediately. He said, hey, we need, some more people like this. I said, okay. So my staff and I found some more, but the guy that we sent to him, the first one, was minority. The next two wasn't. Do you know this guy called and was really upset with us because we found two people that match what he was looking for, but they wasn't minority. So he said, I asked for minority people. And we're saying, but wait a minute, you asked for a candidate that fits the same as this guy. So we sent it to him, and he turned the clock on us and said, more or less, he did not want to use us if we didn't get him minority and black folks.
Wow.
And that is the truth. And so
they turned it around on you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I told him, I said, well, first of all, we just don't hire minority people. We hire all people that's going to fit the company that they're looking for. Mm-hmm. So now if you specifically say, hey, we're looking for minorities, which, some of them do, and not a problem. We find them, and we do find them. But in this case, it was like he started using two other agencies, and the same people that we were sending him, he was hiring those people, the same people we were sending him. See, that wasn't minority.
Yeah, that's a classic case of he used you because you were a minority because he thought that's all you would bring to him.
Exactly.
So whereas you want to play across the board, he wants to
absolutely,
box.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's a problem.
Absolutely. And we haven't hired from them. We haven't hired since then, 4 of them since. Mm-hmm. And if I told you what company it was and what manufacturer, you wouldn't even believe it. And it's like, and I stopped going to their stores. I don't say nothing to no one about it, and I don't throw out the names, but I stopped going to their stores. I'm thinking, wow, and finding out that out of 3,000 people, you have one person, one minority in management out of 3,000.
Wow. And so you thought you were doing something, trying to reach a quota or something.
Yeah.
And here we find out that your quota is not matching, or it's not
matching. Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. So
that's crazy.
So I stopped shopping with them.
Yeah, I bet. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Well, that is one thing that I think that, there are so many times when, we feel like our backs are up against the wall with all of the discrimination and all the unfair practices that some of these companies have, but we can make a decision as a people to not give them our dollars. And I think that we need to solidify that, and practice that as a group and really put some dents into some of these manufacturers and these companies and their pocketbooks. Yes. But that requires a great deal of solidarity that we have to get to.
Right.
And I believe it can happen.
Right.
Let me see here what someone said. William says the classic case of somebody having a doctorate degree but not earning it, Dr. Fauci. Well,
this
guy here, he knows a lot of things that a lot of folks don't know. So I'm not going to dispute that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know that there's a lot of that going around, and it's on my whole nerves because, like I said, I'm working really hard to try to get this paper.
Right.
And I wonder if I can find that article because it really upset me this morning in what I found it because it showed that, there's so many people out here that you just don't know who's real. So in your company, as you're trying to hire, how do you vet your candidates to make certain that they are real, that their degrees are real, that they're, what is your vetting process? Let's see. What did you say? Minority as in Chinese, Japanese? I'm trying to figure out what you are really saying, my brother.
I should say all the above.
All the above. So
all the above. Absolutely.
Okay. Got it.
Absolutely.
So that clears that
and that's
up.
a good question. And that is a good question. Yes. All the above.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, when I say minority, it's you're right. Chinese, African American, all the above.
Okay. Good to know. So diversity
right.
in full effect. Right.
Absolutely.
So what is your process for determining whether the people that you hire are actually as qualified as they say they are? I guess that's the question I'm asking.
Well, I wouldn't say we do a real strong background on them, but I have, and we have a list of questions to ask for any type of position that we are hiring for a company. Those questions we have that they're looking for, we ask them the things that they're qualified for. We ask them that question and ask them to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
When we ask them to explain a position that we are looking for, and then if they can say, hey, if they're looking for an accounting person that have some different type of background that a company is looking for, we ask them about it, ask them to explain it to us. What is it? We act like we don't know anything. Tell me what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And we have everything laid out in front of us. And when they can explain that, we know that they know this.
Okay.
Yeah, we know that they know it.
So you do a sort of what's the word? What's the word? Like a rigorous sort of the interview process is
interview process like a test. It's like we're testing them.
Got it.
And I tell you, the years that we've been doing this, we haven't had a problem at all with any of the candidates, going in a circle with us or don't know, because we only know they can only go in a circle only a time or two. The questions we ask them, because if they get stuck on something real bad and they don't know, they won't know it.
And
especially if you're dealing with especially if you're dealing with engineers and those type of folks, they won't know it. They won't know it at all. So we know if they get stuck on something, and it's something that, well, wait a minute. If you're a quality engineer, then you should know this.
Right.
You should know what this means or what this is. Yeah. Then it's a problem. That's where we shy, away and say, that's not the right one.
Got it.
We tell them we get back with them and so on, and we just move on to
and you ghost them pretty much.
Exactly. We go to that next one, because one thing we don't like doing when we do hire for companies, we don't like wasting the company's time, and we certainly don't like wasting our time.
Absolutely.
So we get down to the whole nitty gritty right from the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so let's back it up a little bit. Mm-hmm. So you went to Western Michigan, you played ball. You played ball you were a Rogers Ram.
Yes, I was.
Yes, you were.
I was.
On the top of that list. You guys were the dream team. That was you and Stu Baby and
Kim Leonard.
And oh wow, who else was on that team? Who else was there? You three were the killers.
Well, it was Aguilana. He was there at the end.
Oh, I remember Aguilana.
But he was only there 1 year with us.
Was that Rick?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Rick Aguilana. I remember him.
Yeah, he was only there with us 1 year, and he left after the 1 year. Yeah.
Okay. And then
Chuck Gibson was with us.
Who?
Chuck Gibson. Remember Chuck Gibson?
Yes. So okay, so now y'all did y'all win state? We won that year, right?
No, well, we went to the city championship 3 times in 3 years. We went.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We didn't win it. We didn't win it, but we went.
Bulldogs that beat us.
Yes. All 3 times.
Doggone it, but we got there. That's all right.
We couldn't get past them. We couldn't get past them. And I'm sure if any of them listening, believe me, they whooping right now. Believe me.
They talking big stuff. Yeah, they whooping.
Yes, they are.
They selling whoop tickets, ain't they?
Oh God, they sell them. They sell them real, and they still be selling them. They
sell
don't
them
care how old they get. They see me on the street. They saying something about it. You know,
They sell them
it's kind of funny. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you saw a couple weeks ago. I think you were on that show when my godfather was on the show, and he's a bulldog. He went to Scott.
Oh, yeah.
My godfather, my daddy went to Libby, and so they were in a group together talking mess with one another all the time.
Yeah.
About that. Yeah. I think half the guys went to Scott and half went to Libby.
Yes.
So
yes.
Yeah. But we were the good old Rogers Rams.
Yes,
Any Rams
we were.
on here tonight? If you're a Rogers Rams, put something in the chat and give us a shout out. I know some of y'all are on here. Y'all being quiet up there. So let's hear from you tonight. If you're from Rogers, or if you're from Toledo, period. That's right. Let me hear from you.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to take another. I want to shout out my brother Lucia Nehemiah of Well Connected Water. Y'all, this water is natural spring water, and it's all in the taste. It's quite yummy indeed. And I have to shout him out because my brother's doing great things. He has Well Connected Clothing, Well Connected Gear, which is his clothing line, and Well Connected Entertainment, in which he used to rep me back in the day when I was singing and things.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a ram. Yvette Kennard, my cheerleading buddy. And
Yvette Kennard,
yeah. Right. Yes, not just a ram, a colt and a tiger too. And then we rams. Mount Vernon Colts, the McTighe Tigers, and the Rams. And we cheered our hearts out. Yes, indeed. Thanks for
you bet. Yes, she knows.
Yes, indeed. Sister for life. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
I'm coming to town, Mona, so get ready for me in August next month. I think the 10th, I think I'm coming in. So let's get some stuff going. Well, so Kenny, you played for Western Michigan, and let's see here what William Seal says. I like this gentleman. I will be praying that his company, sir, it seems like your morals and integrity is truly genuine, and I'm enjoying your dialogue with the Boss Talk Queen. Well, indeed, sir. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Appreciate the compliment. Absolutely.
Mona said, bring me some water. I got you, sis. I got you. Lucia will be happy to hear that. Are you out there, Lou? So Kenny, you went to Western Michigan and played for them, and then you're a basketball Hall of Famer. So tell the Boss Talkers about that. That's awesome.
Well, I was inducted with Rogers, you know that some time ago, as Hall of Fame. And in 2016, I went in at Western Michigan University as a basketball Hall of Famer.
All right.
And believe it or not, as quiet as it's kept, I actually just got a call 2 weeks ago, and I will be inducted on November 6th to the Athletic Toledo Hall of Fame.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
Yes. It's quiet right now. It hasn't really got out yet, but I just brought it up. So
if
anybody hear me,
Boss
absolutely.
Wow.
The first time I brought it up is today.
That.
So November 6th, I'll be in Toledo's Hall of Fame, and so I'll be posted up at the Seagate Center downtown.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Well, congratulations.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So you did well in sports in high school and college, and you went further. You played on the Olympic team. Mm-hmm. That's pretty hot right there. Yeah.
Well, I was preparing for the Olympics at that time.
Oh, okay.
So, okay. Yes, with me and a guy by the name of Mark Aguirre and Rudy Woods and oh gosh, there was so many players at that time, but we were roommates together, I should say. Me and Mark Aguirre and James Worthy, if you know him.
Oh yeah.
James Worthy and Mark Aguirre. Yep. We were all together, and preparing for the junior Olympics. and we had a good time. We was in Colorado Springs for about 6 weeks together, so we had a really good time, and from there, from there we all still stayed, pretty good friends,
Good.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm. And
now, let me see. So then you went on and you were recruited by the. Let's see what Mona has to say here. Yvette says, "Awesome, Kenny, 100% ham, real life proud of you both." Thank you, sister.
Thanks, Mona. That's right. Thank you.
For those of you out there who don't know, it says Yvette Kennard, but we know her as Mona.
Mona. Yep. That's right. That's right. That's right.
From Yvette Lamont Murphy.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
A house full of girls over there.
Yeah.
Yes. So then you were recruited by the Jazz.
Yes, I was drafted with Utah and got to the last section of battling with a lot of great players, then because back then it was a lot of guards, playing guards back then coming up, and that's when Magic Johnson was coming out. He started all the big guards. He the one started all this.
Yes,
we went to him. As soon as he came out as a 6'8" guard, everybody wanted a 6'8" guard. So
right.
So all of us, that was 6'1", 6'2", kind of hurt a lot of the chances. And then I ended up going to Philadelphia with the Sixers. And then as I went there were two guys traded from other NBA teams to Philadelphia the same time I went. So it was a battle.
It was a battle. Okay. So here's the thing. Oh, go ahead.
And then I was going overseas afterwards, but then I didn't want to go because at the time it was real bad overseas. They was holding people hostages, and I'm not going there. I'm not doing that. So it's kind of funny, but I end up not going, there. So that's when I came back home afterwards.
Okay.
And
so part of what we were talking about and what the show was about is about shifting your mindset for success and how to pivot with style and grace. Yes. And so I think you're a great example of making that pivot. And during the pandemic, that was the word. Everybody was pivoting.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. And then here with you as a basketball player, you understand that word in a whole deep sense, like because that's part of the whole game. You pivot, right?
Absolutely, right.
So how did you? Because I know that you play basketball from the what do you call it? What do we from Ryder High School, Ryder Junior.
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely.
Time that the girls used to travel up there to see y'all.
Gosh, yeah, it was so many people up there.
Yeah, and those days on to high school and beyond. Right. You played, you got some great opportunities, you're a Hall of Famer, but it didn't quite go the way that you had planned.
Right.
And so how did you, what was that like for you? First of all, let's start with that.
One, it was disappointing because I knew that I would be in the NBA for a long time. And so it was so different back then because if you remember, even with the draft now, you go to New York, and you sit there and you wait for your name to be called. Back then, we were sitting at home waiting for a phone call. Everybody. It wasn't that you didn't know if who got drafted. We had to call each other and say, "Hey, I just been drafted to Utah. Hey, I've been drafted here." So that's when it was then. But I tell you, the transition, how I went from one to the other after I came home. I was trying to figure out, okay, I'm going to kind of sit around for a minute because I'm going to get another call. And I did get 2 other calls, but the calls that I got was going on a team because somebody was hurt. And then I would play for a week or 2, and then I was back home again. And I was like, wait a minute. The next one I go to, somebody giving me a contract, or I'm going to stay home. Right. That's it. So, and that's what happened. I end up trying to figure out what I want to do now. What I really want to do. I already kind of knew, but I was like, I knew business was where I was. And I end up thinking to myself, let me do this. I'm going to go out and speak to some groups. And that's what I started doing. People was calling me, asking me to come and speak to the university. And I was doing that as I was speaking to colleges and universities. All of a sudden, these folks start coming to me, asking me, hey, you know where I can get a job from? And I knew, and I had connections with a lot of companies that knew me. So I was like, yeah. So I started helping people get jobs as I was going doing this like speech and training. And then I had, now this is how this started. This is real interesting because the one manufacturing HR person came to me and said, hey, you know, I know you sent 3 people over here, but you never sent me an invoice. And I just want to know what, you never told me what you charge or anything. So my eyes kind of like,
ding, ding, ding.
For what? And I'm thinking, for what? He says, well, I mean, when people, you know, help us find people here, you know, we have to pay them, of course. So I know you got some kind of charge. And I said, those are freebies. I told you, they're freebies. And so it was kind of interesting. So he's like, oh, well, gosh, well, we're going to start talking to you all the time. So I started getting another company asking me, hey, I see you got such and such hired over here. You know, so I went home and did some homework.
Come on, Kenny. Come on, talk to the people, y'all. Let's see. Deborah Davis is out here, Kenny. She says, so proud of you, Cunningham. Rogers Rams in the house.
That's my baby right there.
Deborah Davis.
That's my girl.
Well, hello, Deborah Davis. Welcome to
my girl.
Thank you for being on. Now, do I know Deborah?
Yes, you do. That's Deborah Reed Davis.
Deborah, hello. Hey, girl, hey. If I had got close up on this picture, I would have known. How are you? And how are your nephews? My buddies, the Reed boys. What is it, Daryl and Danny? How are they doing? And how is Verly and Gail? And tell everyone.
Oh, gosh, yeah, you know them.
I know the folks. Daryl was my neighbor. I've known Daryl since the 2nd grade. Thank you for being on tonight, my sister. Good to see you. And Dr. Daphne says, good evening. Hello, my beautiful sis. How are you? Welcome to, I don't know if you were here at the top of the show, but Ken and I go way back to the 7th grade. Thanks for tuning in. So here's the thing. I love this. And I want you boss talkers out there to listen to what Ken is saying right now and to recognize how this came about. Because a lot of times we miss our blessings because we're not paying attention. And if somebody is asking you something and you're doing it for free, see, that's the key. When you get the opportunity to do something that you are good at and that you would do for free, but then you find out somebody going, what, pay you?
Absolutely.
Job. And all these jobs that, you know, are out here, it's all about networking. It's about asking questions. It's about answering questions. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So thank you for sharing how this got started. So, so go on. Let's hear some more.
So I went home, did some homework, trying to figure this whole thing out. I'm like, okay, so what would they charge, you know, by getting people in this door? So I called a few people that I knew, and they explained to me and told me, here's what you need to do. I said, okay. And at the same time, I get a call from, I'm not sure if you remember, Coach Ben Williams from Scott High School.
Yes, indeed. Everybody.
Believe it or not, I know those Bulldogs out there, you know, love to talk about themselves. But I tell you, Coach Williams called me and asked me and told me I needed to come down to see them at the American Red Cross. So I went to go see him, and they actually had a grant.
Wow.
A large grant that they gave me to run a program for training employees. After I got that grant and started running the program and started training, and we started training, I brought in about probably 6-7 people. We started doing training for employment. As we're doing training, people was calling our office asking they needed people. So I transitioned that right over to the agency. Started sending people out, starting getting paid for, and then all of a sudden, I just I just flew from there.
Wow.
And
I love it.
And I'll tell you, Sean LeRae, I got so good at it. And I'm not kidding. I'm floating my boat this time.
You
got so good at it that the University of Toledo called and wanted me to come speak with the Black Engineering Association. So I started talking with the engineers and explaining to them on interviewing, how they need to dress, all the above. I had mannequins, I had everything, and I had it down pat. And I had them laughing, and I had it so fun that I started getting calls almost everywhere for a lot of colleges and universities. So I started going there while I had my agency and hired folks to run my agency while I was out doing trainings.
There you go. So, there you go.
And that's how I end up, believe it or not, doing it. And I just enjoyed it and been enjoying it ever since. And it's actually been longer than 32 years, but 32 years strong.
Yes. I love that. I love that story. And I've never known how it got started.
Yeah, that's how it got started. And people will run into me and say, hey, somebody's saying you have a employment agency. Don't know Black people have no employment agency. Like, who told you that? And they used to shoot me down. They used to tell me, don't do that because you're not going to make it doing that because it's too much and you got to do this. They didn't understand that I had it for 3 years when they was telling me that.
Okay.
And I'm thinking all I said was, yeah, I know, I understand. I used to always tell them, but they never knew it. And those same people came to me looking for a job.
Boom, boom, boom. Now speak to that, yes. And it's so great because I love that. And if you're out there and you're in a transition phase or something didn't pan out for you the way that you thought it would,
right?
Here's Kenny Cunningham telling you just pay attention. Because if you're paying attention to how you're doing things,
pay attention.
Always, and I know this about you. And yes. as Mr. Seals pointed out, that your morals and integrity are on point and it's clear that you always have to be careful what you do in the dark because it comes out of light. And if you are above board and living your life in a place where you can peel back the curtain and show people who you really are,
exactly,
the sky's the limit for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And when one door closes, God already opened the other door.
Exactly.
Through it because you had the idea that basketball was going to be the thing for you.
Exactly. Absolutely.
A happen, B happen, C happen. Absolutely. You got to have some experiences in it that you cherish. You did excellently in that place, but it didn't happen for you the way that you thought it was going to happen for you.
Right.
And I'm glad to hear that you go talk to these schools and these universities, and I'm sure you get to talk to folks in the sports world. Because a lot of these young guys are out here and they put all their eggs in that.
Oh gosh! Oh man! I tell you,
when it happens, you look up and that boat has floated away.
Exactly.
What do you do next?
I thought I was going to buy my mama a $1 million house. My brothers and sisters $1 million house, everybody $1 million. And I didn't care about myself. I was just caring about everybody else, and when things don't happen the way you think, you better have a plan. And now me even speaking with the kids today, they are a lot different than we were coming up.
Yes, indeed.
Because let me tell you something. I've been asked to coach a lot in these high schools. Sean LeRae, I cannot coach in these high schools today because the kids don't listen enough for me, because I know me and I know how strong my head is and how this game works. And if one of them didn't listen to me, one of the parents would be calling the authorities on me, telling me to come pick me up.
Okay.
So I just figured the best thing I better do is not even coach. Even when I have a lot of coaches call me and they say, hey, come talk to my kids. I go and talk to these kids. They got their back turned. I went to Rogers. a couple times.
Wow.
And they didn't know who I was. I'm talking to them. They have their whole backs turned. Like, who is this guy? He don't know nothing about. And then I end up saying, hey, listen. I said, is your picture painted up on that wall?
Come on with it.
They said, what are you talking about? I said, is your picture painted on Roger's wall out here in the lobby? They're like, no. Well, mine's is.
Okay.
Is your picture painted at the university that you think you're going to? Is it painted? Well, mine's is.
Okay.
You know, so did you get drafted in the NBA? Well, I did. You know, so, and then now they want to listen to you. They want to hear you. But, you know, it shouldn't take that. No. It shouldn't take that. And I'm saying this for this reason. It goes into business the same way. When I'm talking to someone about business, I'm willing to help anyone, even when they wanted to start an agency, or I'm here. I'm here for them, you know, because it's enough for everyone.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And you know, and I'm here to help them, and just listening to them. But no, they just don't want to listen right now.
They do not. It's a new.
They don't want to work like we did.
That's right.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of them that do.
Yeah.
And a lot of them is doing well, going to school, doing excellent. I'm not talking about them.
Exactly.
But the ones that, you know, that has it up here and just don't use it.
Don't know how to use it.
Yeah, don't know how to use it at all.
Absolutely. Gwen wants to give you a shout out. She says, congratulations on your upcoming Hall of Fame induction. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you, Gwen. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And see, and that's the thing. I mean, you're a Hall of Famer, but for some reason, these kids now, the music, because technology is so intense and they can learn so much, and they got that backwards, forwards, upside, down side, wrong side, right side. Now, whether they're going to use their powers for good or for evil, that's the question right there. You know? And so, you know, it gives them the sense of authority and of superiority that will not sustain them. So it's very different from being confident and knowing that you're good at something and all of that, because they don't want to work to get it. All this stuff comes so easy to them.
So
and
easy. Gosh.
You know?
Yeah.
And, we're suburban kids, so we had it easy in that regard.
Yes.
Because we had parents who were there for us, and we, you know, had a certain amount of you know, charmed life, let's call it.
Right.
But we still had to work hard.
We have to work hard. Absolutely.
Oh, yes, Core Gardens. And
absolutely right. That is absolutely
shout out
right.
Core Gardens and
absolutely.
Sleepy Hollow, Mona.
Yes. Yes.
But it's really not that way as much these days.
No, it's not. It's not.
Dr. Daphne said, you're a good example of how God truly brings balance for his glory. Absolutely. Thank you for that comment, Dr. Daphne.
She better not make me cry.
Oh, baby, you don't know this one here. She will make you cry. This one will make you cry. Yes, this is a true woman of God. She is anointed in so many ways, and she doesn't just do poetry. It's poetry from the soul of the earth, from God. It just flows into her and out to us, and it is such a beautiful thing.
Yes,
beautiful thing. She says, "I came to inspire," and you do all the time. All the time. Yes,
that's great.
That's me.
That's great. That's great.
Well, Kenny, we're gonna have to wrap it up here, but it's been such a joy, and I thank you for the nuggets that you have put out there about how to pivot with style and grace. So absolutely. I really love. I love that. Oh, my brother Alan is on. Alan Shea. Hey, my brother, he says, would love to start a business forum to bring the next generation to how important business awareness is and why we continue to encourage the next generation. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
100%, Alan. And I know you will. And I know you'll call me and put me on there. So now you can call Kenny too.
That's right. Absolutely. Anytime. Anytime. That's right.
Brother Alan is a Renaissance man. He is has worked in politics in Pasadena. He has a show called Our Society, also available on YouTube, and he is on every red carpet. He will film All you have to do is call him. He will film whatever it is you're doing. And he came and
Okay.
filmed my
Oh,
date
good.
soul workshop with our
Yes.
ladies, and he was one of the gentlemen on our panel of 5 gentlemen who came at the end of the day,
Right.
where we had a group of ladies. I think we had 11 ladies who
Mhm.
came, and we Gwendolyn Goodman was on the panel, my girl Chantel Denise, not on the panel, but we were the 3 facilitators. This was a vision that I had with 2 other ladies, and
Right.
we changed, pivoted, if you will, and I had
Yes.
other people do it, and it was to help women learn to date from a place of owning, knowing,
Right.
loving, honoring, and accepting self.
Mm.
And Alan came and was on the panel along with William Seals and a few other gentlemen, and we actually had a wonderful day, and they topped it off with some really good wisdom and
Wow.
insight for the women who were in attendance. So it was a
Right.
beautiful thing,
Good. Great.
beautiful thing. And
That's great.
so we're looking to do more things. So keep looking at on the lookout.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I want to put up where the people can find you. So in case they have some
Yes.
need, or
Mhm.
even some companies that they might want to
Absolutely.
share with you that might need help. So let's
Sure.
put that in the
Mhm.
in the chat here.
Okay.
Um,
Sure.
so if you're late coming on, this is my childhood friend Kenneth Cunningham, or Ken, as his business name.
Yeah.
And you can find him at www.kenmores.com. Now, tell us about the name, because I had the distinct honor and pleasure of meeting one of your daughters.
Mhm.
Kenny called me and said, "Hey, my girl is out there. She's into some of the same stuff you're into. Give her a
Uh-huh.
call." And me and my girl Renee
Uh-huh.
Hadley went and picked her up in I think she was in Monrovia,
Mhm.
and picked her up.
Yeah.
And we took her to the beach, and we
Yeah.
had dinner and all of that. And she was such a sweetheart and a beauty,
Yes.
and a
Yes.
talented beauty. She's a singer. So
Mhm.
tell us about the name, Kenmore.
Now, I got this, and I changed it because I had when I first opened my business years ago, it was called Ad Expressions, and
Ooh.
so I have the 2 daughters, which my oldest daughter named Kenya, and then the youngest one Kenmore. So when I started thinking about when I changed my name, I said, I said I'm going to use my 2 daughters, and I'm going to, because both of them's got Ken on their name. So I said Ken, and then I put Morris on the end. So 4 Morris, and I came up with Kenmore's, and that stuck for 32 years. So
I love it.
mhm.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, that was Ken's company website, www.kenmores.com, and this is
Right.
where you can reach him on Facebook right here
Mhm.
using this link. So save the chat,
Mhm.
or you can come back anytime to review this again and get these links, and that's where you'll find Kenneth on Facebook.
Mhm. Or they can email me, or they can definitely email me also.
Okay, what's your email?
That is KKENHAM@AOL.com.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
KKHAM
KKEN
KKEN
HAM at AOL.com.
How you still got an AOL?
I was just going to mention that. Do you know that AOL that's it. Do you know that AOL has helped me for 30 years? Why change it when something's worked for you? You don't change nothing that something's working already. What you changing it
don't
for?
fix it.
I have a Gmail. I have a Gmail that I barely even use. Barely use. That AOL has gotten me paid. So that right
I
there.
ain't mad at it.
So I stay old school.
So I love it. I love it. Ain't nothing wrong with old school. That is so right. That is so right. So if you so I just want to thank y'all for coming on here to chat with Kenny and I. And Kenny, I just really want to thank you for
Absolutely.
agreeing to be a guest. This has been wonderful.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
And learning your story, the pieces that I didn't know.
Yeah,
I want to shout out again, Mona, Yvette, and Deborah Reed Davis for tuning in tonight. Thank you so much. And all the rest of you out there who didn't say anything. And the regulars, Gwendolyn and William and Daphne, thank you. And Connie, it was good to see you again tonight, darling. Connie was a regular, and then, she been busy doing life and great things. So it was awesome to see her on here tonight. And that's where you can reach your girl, Shawn LaRae, at www.livinglovedhealing.org, livinglovedcoaching.com if you are looking for some coaching, getting past some of the things that are keeping you stuck, keeping you from starting that business, from thriving in that business. All of that, I can help you with that. You can find me on Instagram at Living Loved Healing, on Facebook at Living Loved Healing, and I just started a nonprofit. It is called the William Joseph Brinkley Center for Cultural Affirmation, and it is after my late husband, William Joseph Brinkley, and you can find us there at wjbcenter.com. And we are having our first fundraiser on, let's see, when is it? It's on July 22nd, and I'm going to take a second right now and get that up for y'all because I didn't put it up there last time. So I'm going to go right now and find that and put that up for y'all so that you can get a chance to go and register for that if you are in the LA area. So let's see. Where is that link? Here we go. Let me just go over here. Ba-da-ba-ba.
So you have to be in LA to do the fundraiser, or
yes,
you need to do a national fundraiser for yourself.
Well, you know what? We're going to do that as well, because who likes popcorn? Because I sure love me some popcorn. We are, and Dr. Daphne says that she plans to attend, and so I'm excited about that.
Good.
So I'm going to get this up for, let me see. Where'd it go? Here we go. So this is the link. What happened? Something happened. Let me see. Hold on. There it is. So that's the whole Eventbrite link, because I just went to it that way. So if you click on that, it'll take you directly to the Eventbrite. If you're in the Los Angeles area, it is going to be at 418 South Clark Drive in Beverly Hills. It's right off of the corner of Olympic, and it is Emmy Lou, the art of Emmy Lou, which is beautiful and amazing. And I will share with you this beautiful flyer that we have here. Hold on. Here it is. So this is it. It's a Beverly Hills Jazzy Music and Art Extravaganza, July 22nd, 6:30 until 418 South Clark Street in Beverly Hills, highlighting exquisite, rich, and colorful art by world-renowned artist Emmy Lou. So this is his work. He does a lot of music and jazz art, a lot of women-focused art. A portion of the proceeds of the art sales will go to my 501c3 nonprofit organization, the William Joseph Brinkley Center for Cultural Affirmation, and entertainment is provided by Black Silk featuring Shawn LaRae. So that's me. So I hope that you all, if you are in the Los Angeles area, you will come and hang out with us, because that's just what we're going to do. Emmy Lou is providing some yummy food, and we're just going to have a good old time. So I want to see y'all there. Thank you. Thank you, Deborah. It's so good to see you. Thanks so much. Hey. So, Boss Talkers, you know I love you, and you know that we will be right back here next week, same bat channel, same bat time. And so I'm going to play my theme song and play us out. How about that?
I love that song. I love that song. I gotta find me a song like that for my company. that is real motivating. I love that song.
I can hook you right up with Wayne Lindsay.
I love that. I love it. It's
Wayne
very
Lindsay
good.
has done work all over the country. In fact, he showed me a commercial that he did for Detroit for their gosh, I forget, for one of the like gas or electric companies or something like that in Detroit. Yeah. He does all kinds of great things. So
I may need to talk to him because I want a song like that for my company. That is very motivating. I meant to tell you that the last time I heard that. I love it. That's boss.
Everyone loves it. It is no joke. Here
That's
we go.
Boss.
Boss Talk. We're gonna play it out, y'all. Thank you. Here we go. Oh, wait.
One of a kind.
Oh, that's it. Take a trip and come down here. I love it. Oh my gosh, Claudia. Hey girl. Thanks so much, Sean and Miss Cunningham. Nice to see you, sis. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Daphne. Shout out to Wayne Lindsay and Alana Lindsay for a boss talk. I appreciate it, y'all. Hey now.
Hey now.
Sensational superstar. Boss talk. Boss talk. We're shattering. Boss talk. Boss talk. We're shattering.
That's it.
Boss talk. We're shattering.
Yes, that's our hot.
Yeah.
Love you too. Woo!
Yay.
All right. Well, Boss Talkers, thank you once again for tuning. You know, you could have been anywhere. I'm so glad that you chose to spend this time with us. We'll be back next Wednesday, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So tune in, tell a friend, and remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Peace. Y'all know what to do. Live loved and shalom, y'all. It's your girl, Shawn Ray, and we are out.